course, Pirate Nathan, and of course all the 4chan goons. You know, the same people who are obsessed with Stellar Blade, call it the greatest game ever made. Well, guess what? These people are now upset over Donkey Kong Bonanza. Of course they are. You know, no surprise there. You know, but again, these are the same people who like Stellar Blade, you know, who think that's like the most important game in history when it really isn't. You know, it took a year for it to sell 2 to 3 million copies. It's honestly kind of pathetic, you know, as well. You know, which, ironically enough, Dragon Age of Valhalla sold better for like a month than Stellar Blade took a year. But again, Dragon Age Valhalla released on all platforms but Nintendo. But we aren't going to have that conversation. But, you know, they're upset because they changed Donkey Kong's design. You know, that's like the first thing they were upset with because, oh, no, I see no where's design. Where's the Kremlins? And then they're upset because Pauline's in Donkey Kong Bonanza. Because instead of Diddy Kong, like, nobody, like, outside of 4chan, I don't know a single person who's upset with this. Also, Diddy Kong is in the game. That, you know, they're like NPCs and basically in this game as well. And then I noticed giving Pauline a counter that until her appearance in Mario Odyssey as well. And I think everybody wanted to see Pauline in more games, so Nintendo said, okay, let's put Pauline in more games as well here as well. But these people are the only people who are upset over this game, of course. You know, 99% of people are excited for this game. Only 4chan, Pirate Nathan, and, you know, the usual suspects are upset over Donkey Kong Bonanza because it isn't as great as the 90s Nintendo. Or the games are too expensive, but then they'll proceed to pay $80 to buy free fucking outfits in Stellar Blade. Like, it's honestly kind of pathetic at this point, these people. These people have double standards for everything, where they will be completely silent when they charge $100 to Civilization 7 or, you know, Assassin's Creed Shadow, like the ultimate editions or something like that. It was like the complete edition or something like that. They're literally charging you over $100 for like a complete game, and then they'll complain about Mario Kart World, which wants complete at once as well for 80. But Assassin's Creed Shadow isn't too expensive, you know. Of course, Civilization 7 isn't too expensive. Stellar Blade wanting the complete edition isn't too expensive either, you know, for the same price, because at least Stellar Blade has the boobs. That's what they say. But it's absolutely ridiculous. You know, Donkey Kong Bonanza will likely launch complete at once as well. There's a possibility there could be DLCs if Nintendo really wants to make DLCs. But usually when there's DLCs in a Nintendo game, they usually add things to the game. Unlike most DLCs where they said like 4 skins for like $20 or something like that. But yep, there we go. These people are just absolutely ridiculous. Goodbye.